What's up, people? It's me, Emkwan. Peace and blessings to all out there. Hope you guys are well. I finally got myself a new one of these kind of holders for the car. I had a one before, but it wasn't all that great. It kind of moved around and it looked like it was kind of moving with the dashboard and stuff. So I've got one that fits to the windscreen, so hopefully it's a bit more stable. Anyway, I've seen a bunch of vloggers and YouTubers use the car environment to kind of vlog out to people, and I wanted to do the same because it's actually probably one of the best ways to kind of just record and just talk, especially when you just want to talk and stuff. Anyway, on to the vlog. So I've just finished my day today. It's Thursday, and we've got Sunday off. Remember, the week here starts on Sunday, so it's like Sunday all the way to Thursday. Friday and Saturday are holidays, and then this coming week, we have a Sunday off, the equivalent of your Monday, because it's an Islamic kind of national holiday. So we've got that time off, and it's really awesome. I really need this 3-day weekend. I think me and Miss Bila, both of us, we need this 3-day weekend just to kind of just relax and just chill. You know, it's been hectic at work, increased like hours and stuff like that, and it just this is how it is at the end of the year, the end of the kind of education academic year. There's just tons and tons of stuff to get done, but I'm looking forward to summer. Unfortunately, this year in summer we're not going abroad, so we're going to be staying in the UAE. It's not safe for Miss Bila to kind of travel. The doctors advised against it, people have advised against it. She'll be in her 3rd trimester at that point, so we're going to stay here in the UAE, which is good for us because we're planning on having the baby here as well. My mom's coming out next week, which should be good. I'm really looking forward to that. She's going to visit us for a week, and a chance to kind of chill with her and spend time with her and treat her and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Somebody wanted me to answer a question which was about working out here in the UAE, in terms of, you know, whether or not it's a good place to work and how I found it so far. I've been here now coming up to 2 years, and the first thing is time just goes unbelievably fast. It's been like, it feels like it's only been a year, and then on the other hand, sometimes it feels like it's been longer than a year. But it's been 2 years for me. Time goes very quickly here. Work-wise, it's interesting. It's not like the UK in terms of like, I felt that working in the UK was a lot more demanding mentally. Here it's much more demanding physically. Like, you've got to do your hours and you've got to do your work, but once you get it done here, you get a lot more time off. Like, you go home, nobody bugs you, you don't necessarily get emails, depending on what line of work you're in. But for me, I found that, like, once I leave work, I practically take no work home with me, which is awesome. That's the way I like it. It means that I can spend time doing other stuff and spend time with the family, spend time with Bila, go out, you know, enjoy ourselves. But in terms of physically, I found that working here is very, very demanding physically. Mentally, not so much, thankfully. It's kind of odd. You got to think on your feet and do other things, but it's more the actual physical work that keeps you busy here. In terms of opportunities and perks and all the other stuff, the UAE is flooded with expats. Like, there are tons and tons of Brits, Americans, you know, Europeans, people from India, Pakistan, everywhere that come here. And part and parcel of the reason for that is the perks. Salaries are very good. It's tax-free. It's bonuses. There are you know, perks in healthcare. There are perks in a whole range of stuff. So it's actually really, really good for that reason. So work-wise, that's that. The only thing that I feel is, from a work perspective, like, depends where you work, but in an organization here, if you work for the government or you work for like startup private companies, you find that you kind of you come in and there's a lot of room for innovation, but you've got to go through processes and steps. You have to understand here in the UAE that there is a type of hierarchy. There is type of like your manager. You know, you can't sort of mess around with your manager as you would do in the UK or the US, for example. Managership here and sort of senior managership here needs to be respected. So the way that you would send emails, the way that you would talk to them, the way that you would greet them, for example, it has to be respectful. There's none of this kind of messing around kind of thing that you would do as a default in the UK and the US. This is what I found. Here, that doesn't work, and you can get into big trouble for that. It's just not part of the culture, you know? That's the first thing. The other thing is that you have to respect traditions. You have to respect the way the culture is. And that's something that I found in my time here, a lot of expats have struggled with. They don't respect necessarily what they need to do and what they should do. So you'll find a lot of expats will do things like without considering the impact that it's going to have in terms of local culture. Not only local culture, but the culture that's prevalent in this part of the world. Remember, this is the Middle East. So even though it's Emiratis that are here, you will also get other Arabs that are here. So some of those nuances, a lot of expats actually don't seem to be aware of, and it takes some time to get savvy with that. So that's one of the things to be aware of. In terms of work-wise, alhamdulillah, it's a good place to be. I enjoy it. The other question I've been asked, which is related to work, is how do you go about finding a job here? Well, really depends on what background you come from in terms of career, like what you're currently doing. A lot of people assume that getting a job out here is easy. I don't think so at all. People that know me and know how long I've been working to try and get a job out here will know that I waited for a long time, and I was at the right time, right place at the right time, and that helped me land the job that, you know, I've got now. But there are a bunch of people that I know who are struggling to find good kind of jobs. There are jobs that are out there, but they don't necessarily pay well. The other thing to remember is that you've got to have your qualifications. It's very, very difficult to get a job. You will get a job, you can get a job, but the price difference just makes it very, very difficult to sustain that. Living wise, the UAE is not bad, but there are certain things that it's just extortionate. One of them in Abu Dhabi, and I can talk only about Abu Dhabi, it wasn't the case in Ras Al Khaimah. Ras Al Khaimah, it was affordable to live, but in Abu Dhabi it's very, very expensive. So you'll find that a lot of companies will give you like a housing allowance, and when you look at it originally you think, oh wow, that's quite nice, you know, on top of your basic salary. But very quickly you find out that you need that housing allowance just to find any kind of decent accommodation. There are some people that come out here with families, they have to spend that accommodation allowance, and there are other people that will come out as single or whatever, and they're much more concerned about just making money short term and then leaving. So that's something to be aware of. Overall market now in terms of salary has gone down, so it's nowhere near as high as what it used to be, let's say in 2007, 2008. It's gone down a considerable amount from that time, so that's something to be aware of as well. And it's all a balance. I mean, you know, you have to remember it's a massive move to come out here. Massive. You've got to leave your family, you've got to leave friends, a lifestyle, and you've got to adopt a completely new way of life. And if you're comfortable with that, it can be lucrative, but if you're not comfortable, it can actually be quite difficult. So that's something to be aware of. So let me know what you guys think of this kind of format. If you want to see more of it, you know what you got to do. Hit that like button because it always helps, and also leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think.